It's almost like this is a Marvel podcast. Why do I say that? I say that because this week we are actually somehow talking about more Marvel comics than any other publisher. And, that's great because we all love Marvel. I mean, we on the show love Marvel. We'll see how you guys handle this deluge, relative deluge of Marvel content from us. This week on the show, we have the gruesome threesome of Cale.
What's up, hot dogs?
Gruesome threesome.
Tyler.
I don't like the.
Yuck.
It's like a
Yucky.
gross Eiffel Tower.
Woof.
And I'm Sean. Thank you guys for being here. Whether you are live or in the future, make sure you smash that like button if you enjoy what we do around these parts. You guys are already being great in the chat. We will get to that in just a few seconds. But we have six
Count them.
of this week's biggest books. This is a big week. On the docket today, we have Aliens versus Avengers #3. We've got The Ultimate Wolverine #2. The Uncanny X-Men #10. Look at that variant. Look at that.
On purpose?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I need all of these.
Forgot you were a Gambit fan.
No, I'm a Rogue fan and I'm a Mark Brooks fan.
Fair.
My man gets it done. And I went variant crazy this week. So you guys are going to see some things. Speaking of things you're going to see, Zatanna #1.
That's the cover I wanted too. Hell yeah, Sean.
Yes. That look again. All right.
It looks like an old timey
Don't mind if I do.
like Houdini poster. It's great.
Yes.
Zatanna
Oh, yes.
wish she looked that good.
Big Houdini.
Looked as
head
good
over
as
here.
Houdini?
Yeah.
Cale's really into Houdini. Did you not know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the way he uses those chains.
The New Gods #3, which you don't see in my hands,
Oh.
and G.I. Joe #4. So we've got a lot to get into. Lots of books, stories to tell, maybe a little bit later on. But before we get into all of that, I absolutely need to say thank you to Jesse, who decided to join the channel membership and become a VI pal. Thank you so much. Hope
Whoa.
you enjoy your early access videos and your emojis. We're going to be dropping a couple videos tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, Jesse, and all other channel members. Speaking of channel members, Venom Mark re-upped. He's been a member for 3 months at the Comics Pal Sidekick tier. Thank you, Venom Mark. Also want to shout out Matt Fisher with the 1999 Super Chat, getting it done early. I like that, Matt. Good evening, Council of Sean. Book of the week is Jenny Sparks or Holy Roller. Marco, Old Blue Eyes is back, or LA is my lady. Hi, Cale, spelled with a K. Excited for Rogue Savage Land next week. Remender Book Club, ? Tyler, what up in the hizzle?
I don't care about Rogue Savage Land if that was addressed to me. I don't.
No, I think he's just excited for it.
Yeah.
Matt Fisher loves that book.
Yeah.
He
I'm excited.
also. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, that's a heavy praise for Jenny Sparks, which is on my pile. The finale.
Was it you or was it Marco that said you caught up and it was actually really good?
Oh, it was me. Yeah, it was me.
Because Hound also said it, and I am furious.
What, that people with good taste are giving it good praise?
That people with taste are giving it high praise.
The worst person
it's a Tom
you know.
King book. Disgusting.
I wanted to say, Matt asked about a Rick Remender book club. That's a very good suggestion. Certainly one that we've batted around. So you might see that.
He also rounded out his 1999 with a solid $2 more and said, "Where's Marco?" We don't know.
The boot of capitalism comes for us all, Matt Fisher, and sometimes that includes office gatherings.
Yeah.
Mandatory fun.
I also, before we get into the proceedings, I also want to say a huge shout out and thank you to the man, the boy, young Dende, who joined our Patreon a little bit earlier at the $20 tier. My
Ooh.
man wanted to be a Pals verse legend, and he made it so. Thank you so much, young Dende. I appreciate you for that, my brother, man. You have an origin coming your way.
Ooh,
He
and
had to
that
sit
origin
in,
is not Dragon Ball Z related.
he had to sit in the hyperbaric time chamber to let that money accumulate.
Appreciate you. All right. Let's get into the books. Let's get into the books. You guys have been patient. You've been good. Let's talk about Avengers or Aliens versus Avengers. I always want to say Avengers first because to me, they should be on the front of the big book on the marquee. But what are you going to do?
Damn, they got Deadpooled on this one.
Yeah, Big Time by Aliens. Are you fucking kidding me? When's the last time an Aliens movie made $1 billion? Fucking
Oh,
Marvel.
Resurrection Day.
Anyway, Avengers vs. Aliens, written of course by Jonathan Hickman with art by Asad Ribic, colors by Yves Voristina, letters by Corey Pettit. We have waited 2 months for this issue. It feels like it because I wasn't sure what the hell happened in the last issue. I couldn't remember, but our heroes have abandoned Earth. They left it to the Xenomorphs. They left the Hulk and Captain America fighting to the death, presumably, versus the Horde, as it were, which was very cool. This one shows our heroes having to try and find refuge elsewhere. They basically have a colony, a spaceship colony, and they take a visit to Mars, which you may also know as Araco, which was terraformed during the Krakoan era by the mutants. And in this timeline, that is still the case. And so the heroes go to Araco, Mars, whatever you want to call it, and they meet everybody's favorite mutant, Mr. Sinister, who is doing exactly what you think he would be doing during an alien invasion. He is carving out space for himself on the winning side. What'd you guys think about this one?
I didn't care much for it, if I'm being honest, and I was kind of bummed I didn't care much for it. It's a solid. That's fine, you know. Banksy Main right off the bat says exactly what I was about to say. All like in issue 3, like issue 1 and 2, we were kind of in one place, and it really kind of helped us solidify where we were, so that when we had to leave Earth, there were some stakes to it. The pace seems like it's going really fast all of a sudden. Like we don't get a resolution for Cap and Hulk. Maybe we will down the line, but we don't get it in this. And spoiler, they kill off all the. Is there only one Avenger left in a book called Aliens versus Avengers? The rest are X-Men. This almost seems like a weird.
Well, it seems like, yeah.
It's like a stealth Hickman trying to get back to the X-Men. It was fine. I don't really care much for. Like Tony gets off panel, you know, and that reveal didn't do anything for me. Because I feel like the reveal of a chest burster breaking through the Iron Man armor is a better visual than just seeing Tony Stark with a new hole. Yeah, this was fine. I think Ribic is great, except he does got a lot of people got Ribic face in this. And yeah, I don't know. This one didn't light my pants on fire.
Yeah, man, you open this book and it's filled with a bunch of faces of people that I can't tell the difference between. And then there are more pages of people I can't tell the difference between. I don't recognize the ships. And even once it gets into our heroes after the credits page, I'm having trouble remembering who these people are. And I just you know, I think one thing about this book is, you know, it's set in the future, but like nobody looks like who they are based on, right? I feel like I have no frame of reference for a Tony Stark without a stupid Tony Stark beard.
And you'd think he'd still have the beard even when old, just
Or
be white.
something. It's
Yeah.
something, right?
And Miles is black and white, which is a suit he's never had.
Well, and that's, I mean, I guess that's one thing is like with Miles, at least that moment, where the suit eats the chest burster, that was cool as hell. So I remember that. That's it. Even Captain Marvel doesn't look like Captain Marvel, and I just like I checked out. Yeah, this, I don't know, man. This, my to be honest, my big complaints are art wise. I've long said I'm not an Isad Ribic fan. This book is not doing it for me.
Probably to the surprise of no one, I really enjoyed this. I thought this issue was awesome. I really liked. So the Avengers are a team that is used to winning. Even when they lose, they win because they ultimately always just win in the end. And so watching them fall, they've lost the Earth. What are the Avengers without the Earth? You know, what are these characters dealing with? How are they feeling? I really am compelled by that. And this book does address some of those things, some of those emotions. Are they running? Have they failed at their mission to protect the earth? Well, yes, they have, but not necessarily humanity. And that puts an interesting twist on the role of the Avengers and the point of the Avengers because they've lost the Earth, but humans still live. So technically, they have not fully failed their mission yet, and that mission takes them to Mars. I don't feel like that's moving at a breakneck pace. Earth was claimed. We saw it. The issue 2 ended with the Earth is claimed by the Xenomorphs. There's nothing to say. So they got to go somewhere else. And the last thing I can think of that I want to see is the Avengers stuck on a ship for a whole issue, so they had to go to another planet. And it makes sense that they went to Krakoa, or Araco rather, because there are mutants there. Um, I liked Mr. Sinister's involvement, as tired as I am of this character, because Hickman writes him well. Mr. Sinister is not a bad character. And I wouldn't even argue that anybody writing the character post Hickman is a bad writer. I just don't like their interpretation of the character. Hickman is aces with him, and so I had no issues with this. He betrays the team. No fucking shit, Like, I loved that. Like, he did what you expect him to do, and it adds to the hopelessness of what these Avengers are facing, and I really like where this is going.
And he did it in the most flamboyant way he possibly could.
Totally.
He put the chest bursters in, well, spoilers, in t-shirt cannons and snuck onto the Avengers ship. Wild.
Sean, he said, like, I don't want to see the Avengers in a spaceship with aliens involved. And I'm like, I do. I like the first Alien. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And I thought that movie sucked, so there you go.
Ah, that is an insane take still.
Is it Prometheus like one of your favorite movies too?
Oh, that movie's so good, dude.
Yeah, see.
And this comic is taking up after Prometheus, so it's really not a surprise that I loved it. To me, this is the kind of thing where Hickman is at his best. And the fact that mutants are included, it's like, who doesn't want to see Hickman write these characters again? I do. I love it. And we don't get a huge group, but it's like Old Armor, who I like. Old Armor is probably my favorite old character because we're never going to see this. Like, she's never going to grow up to be this age. So getting to see her as an older woman and what she does and how her armor looks, I always love that. Emma Frost, she looks as good as she could ever look still somehow. And we got Wolverine, who's always around.
Question, logistically, how is he safe from Xenomorphs? I understand Emma, I understand Armor, I understand Colossus, but is this his healing factor prevent?
That's my
Of
thinking.
course. Yeah,
Probably.
you don't remember what event, Mighty Avengers, where they face off with the horde of symbiotes? They've done this a million times, where Wolverine's body just hyper rejects the symbiote.
Okay.
So he can't be taken over.
He got taken over by the Brood, though, so.
Well.
I imagine his skeleton, too. probably protects him quite a
Probably,
bit.
yeah. You can't really break through that. That's true. Yeah, no bursting through the chest. Sure.
Right.
And I thought that was clever as well. Hickman really thought, like, what mutants would survive this situation? And granted, I think there are several more mutants you could have included, like Colossus, but whatever. You don't want the cast to balloon. I get it. But I like that he put some thought into who would survive this.
I guess my gripe was that like all the stakes for the first two issues are about getting people off planet. We need to save the last hope for humanity. And the next issue, they just kill them all off. I know Wakanda's coming, so we have a little Wakanda thing coming later. But in my head, it was like, oh, okay, well then the stakes from the first issues are gone, and there's no like, what are the stakes now? Just survival? I guess that's compelling. But I don't know. I just felt like that was where I felt the speed of the story.
Well, how many issues do we have of this? Is it 5, 6?
It's about $50 worth.
Because,
Like
you
2.
know, either way, there's not a lot left to go. So the book's they got to do something.
I didn't feel like the pace or reading the book and I finished it. I felt like that was it for what, $8? It didn't feel like it was much longer than a normal comic. It took me longer to read New
Yeah.
Gods for half
Yeah.
the price.
Well,
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah.
yeah, New Gods you want to pay attention to.
I also, I'm a big fan of Assad's work, so I always like seeing what he's got in store. His Miles, his Iron Man are awesome. I really like his Sinister as well. Um, if Marco were here, he'd probably complain about the fact that there are panels where the backgrounds are stripped, but that's just a tool of the comic book artist, and I don't really have a problem with that. I think that's cool.
I think it works for Rubik's art. I never really complained about that. It's very more scenic and painterly. I'm not going in it for heavy detail.
And when used well, it draws the focus, right? Like that's an important tool.
Exactly. So overall, I pull this. It's not my pick of the week, but I really had fun with it, and this series for me hasn't missed yet.
So I'm not dropping the series, but if we're talking about a single issue, this is a pass for me. I'm still gonna read it, and I'm hoping 4 can kind of bring me back to where I felt with like 2 and 1. But if I'm just looking at it as a single issue, this one, I don't think it justifies the price point.
It's a pass for me.
All right.
Meyer HQ said AVA was super good, like the dark storytelling. TBH, you can't really complain about anything by Hickman, considering there's not really another comic book writer on his level. Well, let me tell you, you can complain about anything.
Take it from a pro.
Anything.
Well, also, the next issue isn't even solicited yet. That's a problem.
Well, it's out in April, isn't it?
It's not listed in Leave a Comic Eats, which has
No, it's
all
out
the,
in May.
so
Actually,
May
so it wouldn't
solicits
have
aren't
been
out yet.
solicited yet.
Okay.
So, complaint number 1.
Hecatron dropped $5 on us. This week was stacked, just banger after banger. Weeks like this that remind me why I love comics. World Tree and New Gods are easily tied for my book of the week. Okay. Thank you, Hecatron.
Anytime someone says BOTW, I'm like, Breath of the Wild? What are you talking about Zelda
I know,
for?
yeah. Oh, book of the week. I
Yeah.
couldn't put that together.
Thank you so much, Hecatron. Matt Fisher with 199 says, Sean, how dare you? Alien is a fantastic movie. No. I don't know about that one, dude.
And he also said for 199, they are making an Alien X-Men book soon.
Oh, word?
I don't remember that, but hey, maybe that's where they could do the Brood crossover.
I just got the poll up. Sorry for that. So make sure you cast your vote to let us know what you thought about this book. Hecatron says Prometheus is chock full of great ideas and absolutely awful execution. Everyone just making the stupidest decisions possible. Wasn't that Alien, though?
Nope.
Like I feel like everybody made dumb decisions.
Nope.
I think so. I remember feeling like everybody on this ship was a moron. And then in the second one, they all just do it again. Like, what? Didn't you guys learn the lesson the
Well,
first time?
the second one I can give you, yeah.
Yeah, that I can give you. The first one, they're just workers. They have no idea what this thing is. I mean, yeah, in Prometheus, would it have hurt Charlize Theron to maybe zigzag or move horizontal instead of forward? Probably. Probably would have been better for her. But I also like Prometheus, so I can't knock Prometheus. It's different for me. It scratches a way different itch than Alien does.
I didn't even
It's
remember Prometheus. So
It's also worth pointing out I saw Prometheus first. So I thought that movie was a representation of how the franchise was, and I didn't know how different it all is.
The Alien franchise is a series of wildly different genres for the same alien, essentially.
that's true.
John B says, I don't think they're going to solve anything. I think the aliens will win. And that very well may be the case. And I like that too. Like whatever the outcome is, whether it's a bleak one or a hopeful one, I don't really care. It's all in the execution. I don't need them to win.
It would be nice to see somebody's chest burst, though. Like, give me an Avenger, give me a superhero actually, like, eat it hard. We haven't seen that yet, right? Captain Hulk, we deuced that. We just deuced them. Like, all right, see you later, buddies. Iron Man off panel, which also somebody mentioned an arc reactor. Yeah, where the hell is that? Miles MIA. Like, give me some gore if you're gonna do it.
I would like to see that moment in the moment where as you turn the page or whatever, it's done. We're toast. The Avengers, the X-Men, whoever, we're fucked.
It's gonna be
yeah. And that chest burster is the sign.
They're gonna save the day, and then by the end of this, and they're gonna have a nice shawarma dinner at the end, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, my chest hurts," and then bam, Captain Marvel's chest explodes. Then we have a new little chest burster, and then the series is done. Wait for Volume 2 for them to make more money.
Maybe so. All right, I'm gonna end the poll here. Let's see what you guys had to say. You guys, well, I would love to know what you guys are saying, but my YouTube is acting funky.
So didn't buy / read at 44%. So majority just didn't pick this up. Poll 33%. Pass with 19%. And pick of the week, it's 2%.
Okay, well, we do have a DC audience, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, even still at that price point, like
it's tough.
Yeah.
What do you think the trade will be? Will it like match that?
I don't think it matches it, but I definitely think it's going to be a lot more expensive than a standard trade. It's
not 25-30.
Surely it'll be. Oh, I bet it'll be. I would say 35.
I was thinking 40, but yeah, I don't think it's got it. It would be dumb for it to not. I mean, we're at 3 issues, $7.99, 14. We're already at trade cost. 3 issues in.
Yeah.
So, we have a big couple of weeks coming up as ever. We are always cooking and always have stuff in the pipe. So, this Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern, we are going to be joined by somebody that our audience loves a lot, and that is BJ Kicks.
Whoa.
BJ from Comics Are Dope is going to come hang out with us, and we're going to talk about all of the major announcements from Marvel and other publishers coming out of Comics Pro. Lots of big stuff, heavy-duty announcements. We're going to get into all that, and plus, Donny Cates is back. What does that mean? What publisher can we expect to see him working at this summer? Lots of big questions, and we're going to dissect and dive into all of them this Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern.
There's some big ones that I'm pretty excited to talk about.
Yeah. Then, Tuesday, we're going to be live at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Captain America Book Club. We're going to be doing Ed Brubaker, Steve Epting, and all the other artists. Their run, the first 25 issues So make sure you get your reading done. Hopefully, most of you are, somewhere in your reread, or you're going to have a long weekend and you plan to get this done. I would love to see a record amount of people show up to watch this book club live. That's what I would love to see. And I want to see some participation. I want to know that you guys spent the time to read this book and you got something out of it. I got to tell you, I'm halfway through, a little more than halfway through my read, and this book is fucking fire.
Guys, it's cold out. Stay inside, read a book. We outside? No, we're not. We're inside. We're reading.
Right?
I got a long train ride this weekend, so that's where I'm gonna get it.
Nice. The American reading a Captain America book in the UK.
Oh yeah. Why not? Um and then also this show will be Wednesday next week because Tyler and I will be appearing on the Near Mint Condition channel once again for their evergreen show. I don't know if they've made the announcement about what it will be, so I won't, but we're very excited for that. So tune in on Thursday to see us there.
I love when I get to just be on a show instead of have to worry about stream rates and FPS.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. All right, let's get into Ultimate Wolverine #2. This is written by Chris Condon with art by Alessandro Capuccio, colors by Brian Valenza, letters by Corey Pettit. Last issue, we were introduced to the idea of the Ultimate Wolverine. There was speculation that it wouldn't be Logan. Of course, it is Logan. And, we learned that the reason he looks like the Winter Soldier is because in this world, he is the Winter Soldier. He's not called Wolverine by anybody. He's referred to as the Winter Soldier. So that is his identity for now. This issue opens up with a flashback sequence that sort of shows us how this all came to be in the first place. The Maker making a trip to prevent the birth of the Ultimate Wolverine, making it so that he finds his way to these powers and everything else a bit of a different way. And then the rest of the issue is just kind of putting him through his paces. It's a test run. Colossus and Co. want to see what the Ultimate Wolverine is made of, and so they put him through his paces. And similarly to the mainline Winter Soldier, this version, as under control as they think he is, I don't know, man. He seems to know who he is and what time it is.
I need some clarification. That was Professor X, right?
That's what I thought. They call him Professor. But the
Bald,
Maker calls him Professor.
bald
And
dude
he's
saying,
one-
you can't be around dealing with mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's bald as hell.
I thought that was the guy that originally did the Weapon Plus program.
Striker.
Not Stryker. In the comics,
Sorry.
Stryker's a religious dude. I forget what his name is.
Not
But
Trask.
huh?
Not Trask, that's Sentinels.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah,
Chad will tell us.
I think that was that guy. I do not believe that's Professor X.
See, I thought it was Professor X because it was a flashback to the Maker kind of taking the things off the table, like when he prevented Peter from getting bit by the spider, right? And I thought that was him taking the X-Men off the table by preventing the formation of the X-Men, with
That's what I
Wolverine
thought.
being the first one.
Yeah.
But why would he be talking about? He says this. Still, our initial findings have yielded results that may be useful. Though our first adamantium-infused subject, Weapon Alpha, died within minutes of the procedure. Why would he be talking? He doesn't even know what mutants are. He says mutants, the rumored Homo superior, are potential subjects. He's not even a mutant.
I read it as like him discovering this version of mutants. Professor Thornton is what Banksy Man is saying.
Yeah, this is definitely not Professor X.
Oh yeah, that's a bald motherfucker. Yeah, that's probably him.
Oh, all right.
Too many bald white dudes in the X-Men. All right, you can't just put more of them in.
He's not new.
Well,
He's
I
not
mean, new to me.
The Maker offing that guy was badass.
Ugh.
He very rarely uses his actual powers, which are, he's Reed Richards, so he can stretch. He never does that. But here, he uses them in a way that Reed Richards would never use them. He puts his fucking fist, well, not even his fist, one of his fingers through this guy's mouth, like the T-1000 in T2. He puts that shit through his mouth. That was nasty. One of the gnarliest kills I've seen in a Marvel comic in some time.
Death by fingering is not something I expected in a Marvel comic.
Well, some people are into that.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was nice to see a little bit of brutality in this book. I complained about it in maybe not being as brutal in Aliens versus Avengers, but it was like, this is freaking Wolverine. It doesn't need to be red band. Like, I expect him to be violent, and I expect those to be controlling him to also be violent. And I enjoyed that. I think this issue had a lot less Wolverine in it. It was really setting up the foundations of everything else going on. But I thought it was fine. I really like the Capuccio art. I think it's different but familiar. It's fast though, the art. Does that make sense? Like, everything feels like it has speed lines and it's moving at a clip. And I think that lends to like it's like, look at the cover, the Colossus, Wolverine reflective in Colossus's forehead, which, like, dude's got a 5 head. But there's a speed and a kineticism that I think really works with Capuccio's art.
I don't know if it's speed as much as it's motion.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily feel like it's speed, but like, you can like, I'm looking at the some of the panels where Colossus is lifting Wolverine, by his throat or whatever, and like, your brain fills in the rest of that, like, you can see it. And yeah, the art is just incredible. Just incredible. You mentioned that there's not a lot of Wolverine in this, and I actually really like that. I read the first issue before this one, and I really, really enjoyed that. Because I think what we need from this character is for him to say nothing and to just be absolutely lethal. Right now. And that's what's happening, and it fucking rules. Because it's doing probably a better job than, I dare say, any other Ultimates book except Ultimates in building the world. We're getting a whole other look at another side of the world that we thought was already covered by Ultimate X-Men.
Well, even outside of the mutants of it all, we're getting to the side of like Russia and Omega Red and Colossus and Magic and like that whole section. Yeah.
Well, and I think this is coming through as like an not undiscovered, not underrepresented, but under credited, unseen side of it. Like, we didn't. The mutants are focused in Russia. That's interesting.
Yeah, I agree. To me, this book is very exciting, and I think the world building that's happening with familiar characters, like Ultimate X-Men does world building, but it's doing it with people that I don't know. Whereas this is doing it with Omega Red, and it's doing it with Colossus and Magic, and it's very interesting to say, hey, let's put the spotlight on Russia and these Russian mutants and see like what they're about and stuff like that. That's very compelling. I like the way Wolverine is played here, especially being in the midst of my Winter Soldier reread. This is the same character. Like, it's the same presentation. And Chris Condon is thinking like the way that Colossus and Wolverine interact, where they're not best of friends now in mainline, but they have been, at different points. And so when Colossus throws Wolverine in this issue, it should make you think of the fastball special. But he's actually just fucking tossing that man, to the ground. And so Chris Condon is playing on our knowledge of these characters, in ways that is compelling to throw curveballs at us, pun intended, that so far for me are landing every single time. Even though you could make the argument that not a lot happens here, everything that happens is interesting. And if the maker piece was the only part, like I'd pay $3.99 to read that scene. So everything else here was icing on the cake, and I loved all of that just as much.
Yeah, I think for this being the second issue, I think the world building that this series is doing is incredible. So I'm over the moon with this.
I just really like his costume.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. That Winter Soldier MCU mask kind of works.
Yeah.
And I also like how you see this as what of cards? House of Cards. We see this as a House of Cards, and we know what's going to happen. Like, we know Wolverine will get his memory back, and these people are fucked. And it's going to be fun seeing those cards slightly shift and shift until they start falling.
Dude, this book could be called fucking Wolverine Revenge. Like, he's gonna get his lick back on every single person here except that woman who's the woman scientist doctor lady who's gonna help him, inevitably.
Don't hurt magic, please.
Hurt her.
Oh yeah,
Hurt her.
she gonna die nasty style.
Yeah. I need it. I need to see, because the Wolverine Revenge, I really like it. I want to see an extended Colossus versus Wolverine battle here. I hope we get to that.
That was disappointing in that Wolverine Revenge. So yeah, I kind of hope we get that, or at least multiple fights. I don't think that ends in one fight. Especially with the stakes that Colossus has in this world, he's like the leader. Of course he's gonna have to retreat. He's gonna have to do one of those Cobra Commander retreats.
And can we just talk about this last page? So Wolverine has killed all these dudes, right? He's collected their heads, right? And he goes to the camera because they're watching him. They want to see what he's capable of. And he goes right close to the camera and he just throws his claws up for them. I thought that was hilarious. I'm glad they didn't go the silly route of him throwing up the middle claw. He just threw his claws up like, this could be yours.
I read that it's him chopping the camera because the next panel is static.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Which is like, all right, this guy will kill anything, even if it's not alive.
There's a little bit more depth to that.
Yeah.
The sign? Fuck that sign.
Cool.
This tree. Well, trees are alive, but yeah, no, fuck the tree. Kill the tree. Kill everything. Yeah.
He gonna cut it.
We might need those in the U.S.
I love this book. Pull.
I don't know about love, but it's a pull for me.
Oh man, I'm having a blast. If it weren't the fact that New Gods came out, this would be my pick of the week.
Yep.
This was phenomenal.
Interesting. Okay.
And Ultimate Wolverine was my pick of the week when issue 1 dropped. So this shit is just hot fire. Let's see. Let's do the poll results. Let's see what you guys have to say about this book. And so far, yeah, very, very positive. 52% pull, 18% pick of the week, 18% didn't buy or read, and pass is 10%. Why are we passing?
The 18% pick of the week is a pretty big pick of the week number, because keep in mind, like, people's pick of the weeks is not just the books we read. It's whatever they read. So 18 is pretty big.
Well, we haven't even done the New Gods poll yet. I assume that'll be everybody's pick of the week.
Matt Fisher also 199. Thank you. I think that was the Bald Weapon X guy. That's new character unlocked for me.
Yeah, same.
Lucas Holner says thoughts on the data pages giving me Krakoa flashbacks. You know what, dude? In full Comics Pals honesty, I read the first page. I said, I don't know these fucking names, and I don't care. And then I saw there was another one with mad words, and I said, listen, if these words are relevant, Bleeding Cool will strip them. Otherwise, they're irrelevant. And so I'm not going to do this to me. I'm not doing it again.
Ladder Krakoa made me blind to these things. I didn't know there were data pages. I skipped by them without knowing.
See, I'm just a fool. I'm a sucker for these data pages. I love them. The first issues was very good. Now I don't remember it. But these two did nothing. They fill in, the second one fills in a little bit more in-depth information between the scientist and Magic, and like the reason they have beef or why they think they have beef. But it's nothing that's not already on the page. So
Okay.
Sean, before we leave this Marvel block, can I just do a quick shout out if that's cool?
We've got one more Marvel book.
We have. Oh yeah, Uncanny X-Men. Okay, let's get to it. Yeah.
I did want to hit a few more comments. Atomic Hound shouts out that if you like this, Chris Condon is also writing Green Arrow, and it's quite good too. You guys are going to hear Tyler sing the praises of that book on next week's Pals Previews, which drops every single Monday. Kenneth Williams says Magic getting done the dirtiest. How?
She's got her own ongoing right now. She's getting a
going to.
new Marvel rival skin.
Oh,
We're in a.
she's going to. I'm with you on that.
Okay,
I
sure.
think that
Absolutely.
as precious as Magic is in mainline, in Ultimate, they're gonna do her dirty. And you know why? Because I suspect this version of Magic is a low-key beast. She's gonna take Wolverine to hell, and he's gonna have to claw out of that place to get at her ass. That's what I want to see.
Better what? Jeez, whoa.
That's what I would.
You
That's
heard
what I
me.
would do. Yeah, I would do that.
We haven't even seen Darkchild yet either. I bet you Ultimate Darkchild's the thing.
Hell yeah. Young Dende says, wouldn't Deathstrike be a better fit for Ultimate X-Men? Lady Deathstrike. Since Peach is introducing a lot of Marvel's Japanese characters over there, and all, listen. Peach is introducing not just she's introducing Japanese characters. She's also taking characters and making them Japanese. She's turning them Japanese. Now, she could use Lady Deathstrike. That's fine. I got no problem with that.
Me too.
But I think I think that Lady Deathstrike could fit in either space. Theoretically, she could fit in both spaces. Who knows?
There are Japanese people all over the place.
You got that song
Exactly.
stuck in my head now too, Sean. Jeez.
I know.
You're welcome. There are Russian Japanese people, so she could be that. I would like that. You never know. All right. Let's talk about the Uncanny X-Men number 10. I need to show off this beautiful cover once again. I love it so much. These are the not quite Disney variants. For some reason, they're not calling them Disney variants. Whatever. Written by Gail Simone, with art by Andre Bresson, colors by Matt Wilson, letters by Clayton Cowles. Okay. The mutants, the young mutants, are under attack by some robots, and they fight. And Wolverine and Nightcrawler are there. Rogue and Gambit are not. They're on a date. The end.
Wow.
I
book.
mean, plot-wise, you're not wrong. But I think that small story and that small plot have a reason here. This is just the tale of X-Men 97's opening with Jubilee for these guys. Go to the mall, get attacked by Sentinels, learn who these characters are. It was fine. I think it was a good way to at least get some time with, these new. So we have Calico, Ransom, Jitter, and Death Dream. These new outsiders. They're not quite X-Men. They're outsiders, but they're mutants. I thought that was nice. I thought it was nice to see their interactions with each other. I preferred 9 to 10. I read these back to back. 9 was a little more of that. This was a little more on the action. These Sentinel dogs are attacking. But it's not Krakoa. It's not big, heady, we're going to reinvent mutants. It's very much like almost a slice of life with some Sentinels on the side. It's strange, but I enjoyed it.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it's strange. It's a beach episode.
A beach arc, yeah.
Yeah. Kids go to the mall and they get attacked. Wow. I don't know. It's been 10 issues of these kids I think we have a pretty good idea of who they are and what their deal is. We're 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 still doing that. This is issue 10.
I am at the place where I think the best thing for us would be to stop reviewing X-Men books.
Poll book,
Um, sorry?
poll book, possibly, or
Maybe, yeah, because I just can't. Like, I love Gail Simone. I really, really do, and I want to stress that. And the character work that she does is always good. But there's so many great comics coming out, and you guys said Beach episode, Beach arc. How about Beach line? How about none of these books have a clear plot, a clear through line? Like I just
Yep.
I
Yep.
need there to be some propulsion and momentum. They've been dealing with the same shit the whole time. I feel like there's no forward momentum. What's the arc here? Like I just and I know it's about the kids, and I know it's about rehabilitating the X-Men mutants that we get, like Rogue and Gambit getting to go out on a date and saying like we're not going to think about what's going on. We're just going to enjoy each other. That's valid, but I I can't get on here and review this favorably. It doesn't like the artist we're supposed to be getting, David Marquez, is on like every third issue at this point. Um, Crossover after crossover. Uh, no clear thread of story. I don't want to disparage this stuff because I love this stuff, but I don't know. This is a fresh. This book was very. I was very aggravated reading this.
yeah, I think my issue is that I'm still having trouble acclimating to where we are, and I think the books are too. I think the characters are too. And I feel
But
that there.
there's 40 of these.
Well, there's I mean, maybe like 39.
That,
Gale, come on.
no, that's not an exaggeration.
And we got Emma Frost coming up soon, so. I mean, in terms of like the line, we've talked about the X-Men line ad nauseum at this point, and I think this is emblematic of the line, kind of not knowing where it is and trying to tell stories in its place, like by running in place, but also trying to tell a story. And I think that we get that out in this book. That being said, I thought the Andre Bresson art was different. It felt like a lot of the character faces were super cartoony. There's just one single page where all of the youngins are there, and I thought it was atypical for current Marvel, and I kind of enjoyed it. But yeah, it's not revolutionary.
Yeah, I think for me the problem with this line and X-Men altogether is that it's ongoing. These are the ongoing books, but there's no direction. We have the how do you guys feel about the upcoming X Manhunt or whatever? Do we care about that?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Has no heat for me. That's the digital one that they've. No,
No,
that's
it's
the
the
other
next
thing.
event.
That's the Professor X's shit.
Yeah. No, this
Uh,
is the real one.
I say I don't care for it. I'm probably gonna read it, but yeah, it is not. I'm not excited for it.
I want to say this. I don't think that the creators, like forget this book, all the books. I don't think that the problem of the line falls on them.
Yeah.
The issues that I have with the line have to do with something that is above them, which
Yep.
is a direction for an entire group of stories and characters that very clearly they were not allowed to do anything but this because all the books are like this.
Yep.
Tinfoil hat time. Will you allow me? Are they in this running in place kind of feel where it's a little directionless, just so they can do that for a year or two until MCU X-Men becomes a thing, and then that's Marvel. Marvel is X-Men at that point, and they go all in on that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I just feel like we've seen, like, I know what you mean, and it's very likely that that plays a part, but I feel like you can still do something interesting in the margins. I don't feel like it has to feel this way. If you have 2 years, if you have 2 years, if you have 3 years, that's a long time. You
Sure,
can do
yeah.
stuff.
But they were also willing to get rid of the X-Men for the Inhumans for years. So I don't.
I get that though.
Sure.
That I get. If you're gonna put the books out, make something fucking happen.
It's treading water.
I have an awful, awful thing to say.
Get it
and
out.
I hope she's not listening. Oh, this would be awful if she were the one that were listening.
Well, don't be
I'd
mean
kill
about it, jeez.
myself.
She does. She does.
Don't be
I
mean about it.
know. I
Do what
don't
you
want
have
to
to.
say it,
Then don't say it.
but
No.
if they wanted to do something,
Oh, okay.
and I mean this, with no disrespect, truly.
Say it because I'm going to
Truly.
disagree.
Wouldn't they get someone someone from the higher echelon? You know what I mean? Like Gale has done a lot. Gale has done a lot, and 90% of it has been very, very good. But she's also someone who, does these ongoings and can keep a book running.
Like you're saying, like steady hand.
Yeah.
A steady
Yeah.
hand for a book that just needs a steady hand at this point, not somebody who's going to rock the boat.
Yeah. Someone who can do these little character stories where Rogue and Gambit go on a date and some kids get a fight in the mall.
That's
And
why
that's
I love
every
Domino.
issue.
Domino was a great series by Gail Simone. But
The thing is that the reason why I disagree is that I feel like if you said to Gail Simone, you have the runway, you have the floor to do whatever you want to do with the X-Men for a couple of years until we get to where our plans are leading us. And you can do whatever you want. Gail Simone is more than capable of putting together an excellent story that's heartfelt, that can do all the things we would expect from an X book. She's the
1,000%.
girl. Gail
1,000%.
Simone, from a character work standpoint, I believe she's already proven that. The problem is that the rest of the stuff that's
Yes.
above her,
Yep.
they won't let her do anything with it.
1,000%.
yeah, because the best parts of Birds of Prey and the best parts of Secret Six are in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the whole Nightcrawler bit in this, fantastic. Him questioning whether his life as an X-Man is even the future. Maybe he's done with that. I thought that was great. I thought it was a great little introspective bit. But yeah, like we're getting it's like a lot of hors d'oeuvres. We're not getting a full meal.
And this is the flagship book.
I'm not. I think they might think X-Men's the flagship at this point. I disagree, but
No, well, they're wrong and you're wrong.
Well, Tyler would be right. Tyler
I mean, Cale just
agreed
wants to
with
say I'm
you.
wrong. It's fine. I'll take it. It's cool.
Well, you are saying you think X-Men is
I think they
the
think.
flagship book.
He didn't
You
say
think
that.
that's what they think.
Yeah.
All right.
Uncanny's always in my eyes.
All right,
Uncanny's
I
the
apologize.
book.
All right.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I was okay
But
with
watch
it.
yourself.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to come on here and be negative. And, like Tyler said, there are good character moments in this book. But, when I buy X-Men, I'm looking for drama, I'm looking for teamwork, and I'm looking for pain. Okay? And I'm looking for those things to be accomplished with characters that I've been knowing about for 30 years. And so all these kids, I don't give a fuck about that.
Fuck them
I
kids.
care about it. Fuck them kids. I care about it in Exceptional because that's like how the book was sold to me, and I chose to buy it that way. So I'm cool with that, and I love the character work that's being done there because some of it's being done with the characters that I fucking like. But I don't care about these kids yet. There's too many of them, and they're not like. It'd be fine if I loved everything around the kids, but I didn't know the kids, because then I could learn about them while I'm seeing other stuff happen that I love. But I don't love the kids, and nothing is happening.
And like, it's a shame too because like we're also critiquing the line of the X-Men at the same time here. We can't help it. It always comes up. But I think there are some things like this Storm book is pretty good. It's so outside of like X-Men, it's Storm setting her own path, but it's damn good. I like NYX, Nyx, however the fuck you pronounce it. But again, it's kind of outside of everything. It's a Miss Marvel adjacent book. So it's so weird that like the two flagships or the one flagship and secondary flagship feel so out of place and not directionless. I can see the direction the individual creators are going within their books, but those books are not charging the path forward for the X-Men.
Not at all. Atomic Hound asks who's writing Storm. That's Morewa Iodel. A lot of people shouting out the books that they like from the X line, and please continue to do that. This isn't meant to be a bash fest. That's not the point of this. We're being honest about how we feel, and there are X books that I like. I think Exceptional has been great. I did not think I was going to like that book at all. I think it's awesome, and I also really love X-Force. The rest, and up until this second, I would have included Uncanny in that. I'm hopeful for the next issue. That's the one I believe has Gavin Guidry, so we're going to rally behind that. But man, I'm just desperate for something to occur. I really am.
And I think there's a bit of it too where I feel unsteady. I'm not used to the X-Men line working this way. Like I'm used to an Avengers line working this way, especially because this feels like an Avengers line. Thanks, Brevoort. Where it's like, hey, we have team books and everyone's got their own solo books. That's what it feels like. And it sucks because I'm of two minds about it. Like I really like Storm. I really like Phoenix. Dazzler, fun little miniseries. So in the micro, I enjoy the books. Once I pull out on a macro, I'm confused and it feels weird.
And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Um, if you guys, I want to keep talking about this, but not in the confines of a review. So I am saying pass. I hate to do that. I'm sorry, but I have to. I just don't. I didn't enjoy my time reading this comic. I was frustrated by this.
It's a pull for
Pass.
me.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's a pull for me. I'm enjoying this enough. And if I can silo it off my brain as like, all right, this is just a team book that I'm enjoying, not look at the name of the book and the leadership of it. It's just like, all right, I like this book, and I do enjoy it. I appreciate what Gale's doing, but yeah, I don't disagree with what you guys said.
I'm a pass, and I am gonna have a panic attack in bed tonight, thinking, worrying about whether or not Gale listened to this. I'm sorry, Gale. I didn't mean it.
Do you need a zipper next time for it? We'll just.
No, look, the question needed to be put out there, right?
Sure. Many people are saying.
I'm not saying. Some people are saying.
And even I'm not saying.
I mean, look, this is what it is, right? Our responsibility is to come here and be honest about what we think about these books. And we've had run-ins with creators before who didn't like what we had to say. I would hope that Gale would understand, just like I would hope anybody would understand that, just like they have a job to do, we have a job to do here. And we're not talking about anybody on a personal level. It's always about the work. So, yeah, let's dive into some of the comments because this is a hot button issue. Meyer HQ is going hard for Storm. Says the new issue of Storm was by far the best issue of the week. Storm is by far the best X-Men book. I'm not caught up, so I can't speak to that. But I will be.
I know BJ, big fan of it. From Comics Are Dope.
Sure. Chris Coleman says, it seems to me to be a direct reflection of Krakoa being impenetrable. And I think you're right in a sense. But like, I've read a lot of X-Men. And I would say that the Krakoan era was the most unimpenetrable the line has ever been. But if you take Krakoa out of the equation and you look at any other era, right? They're not like this. This is the only era of X-Men books that I can recall that felt completely directionless. When you look at The Civil War, post House of M Civil War-ish era, that was a clear direction. The mutants are going extinct. The new X-Men era, that's the Grant Morrison stuff, clear direction. Chris Claremont era, clear direction. This is just like, hey, whatever you guys want to do, feel free as long as you don't do anything.
The X-Men as a property at Marvel is probably the most coherent in terms of a timeline of arcs. Like, I have trouble calling out Spider-Man arcs. I can tell you runs, but arcs is tricky. Storylines is tricky because it's some of those arcs, those creative teams are on it for a bit. Since Claremont, you can be like, oh, here's this arc, here's this arc, here's this arc, going all the way through to Krakoa, really. And this one, like, I want to know what this arc's called. From the Ashes, that's more of an era, but like, it doesn't tell me what this arc of Uncanny X-Men is like.
Yeah.
Catherine says, exactly, Sean. It's not personal. We can be professional in critique, especially if there is substance to the critique, which you guys always provide. Yeah, and you know, some people won't understand that, but hopefully the people who get it are the ones that matter.
5-star 2100 said Storm is sold out at my LCS the last 3 issues.
Well, that's wild because Stoop says art and story of Storm is proper shit. LOL.
Proper shit. Oof.
Sounds British.
5-star 2100 also said Mystique was a concise run that tied everything up well by the end. Mystique was fantastic, but guess what? Mystique is 5 issues. That's the problem. When you got 5 issues and you can do what you want, right? You can tell a story from beginning, middle to end. And it feels like that. With these books, we don't know what the end goal is. It's possible that they, the creative teams and the editors and everybody else, don't know what the end goal is. Right now, to my eye, as somebody who has nothing to do with the behind the scenes, it feels like they said, sandbox time. Let's have you all dropped into this new post-Krakoa era and, you know, just kind of tell the stories of the mutants going through the motions, and we'll let you know when it's time to accelerate things. It feels like editors completely locked in and control, whereas the Krakoan era was the opposite.
It was a complete rubber banding of the line to the whole opposite direction without really looking at what made Krakoa work. I think there is a middle ground here that would work fantastic for the X-Men, and this just went a whole other direction. And we know it did. It was a skidding of the tires with how quickly things turned around.
Yeah. Mike Hank says, thoughts on Sentinels. Sentinels was all right, man. I really liked the first issue, and then I liked the second one less and the third one less than that, so I stopped. Yeah.
C.W. Gordon with a question for you, Sean. From the Ashes or Ten of Swords?
Ten of Swords.
Oh.
No doubt.
Unwrap it. Let's read it.
Got fucking Saturnine in it. And
there's your
swords.
solution. There's your solution. Bring back more swords and bring back Saturnine.
No and hell yes.
Like, honestly, this explains why you like Exceptional X-Men. Emma be wearing those gloves in that book.
Emma has that shit on. She always does.
Oh,
and I love her.
No, hold on. That was one thing I forgot about this in Avengers versus X-Men. The one time I've ever looked at a piece of art with Emma Frost on it and gone, oh no.
Was it Ramita?
No, it was your boy Assad Rebic.
The one we just read, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
What did I say? Avengers, Aliens versus
Avengers.
Avengers.
I was going back to the Avengers versus X-Men. I'm like, all right, hold on.
That might have been what I said. Sorry.
Emma had those bolt-ons.
Woof.
That was rough. Yeah.
Impenetrable. Can't burst through that chest.
No, indeed. Cole says, Brevoort posted on his newsletter a pic where top Marvel staff met with Claremont, and Chris has been reading the current books. I wonder if they'd let him, or if he wants to headline the current line now. He's been open about the fact that he would love to do it, and I think Marvel has been just as clear, though non-verbally, so that they do not want that.
Honestly, put him with the modern artist, let him do it. I'm not saying take the teams off. Take the teams off. Give him a book, but I want to see what he's like in main continuity.
It's not good. We've seen it.
The problem is that Chris, I personally don't think he's going to play in the band, so to speak, in that way. I don't think he's going to be down to just do one of these books.
He's playing the cowbell.
And I think we'll make this the last comment on this matter before we get into the DC block. John B says, as a thought, this era, the X-Men just lost their homes. They've been thrown back into a world which hates them. They're all separate. I think the directionlessness may be intended. John, that's very astute, and I think you're right. But I think even in that, you can have story. Like I'm watching The Walking Dead right now, and The Walking Dead get displaced. The group they get displaced. They get separated all the time, but there's still a story. There's still like a point, and I'm just not sure what that is right now for these books.
The direction is directionlessness, but in this, it just feels like direction without a direction.
Yeah, totally.
Before we okay, go ahead, Cal. Yeah.
And like with The Walking Dead, it starts from no direction. You know, it's survival. With this, it's like it's survival with no hope of finding direction, right? But with this, it's like we know at some point this is gonna reset. And it just like there's no clear path or picture as to what is coming.
Every time they tell us what's coming, it's something I don't want to see. Like what's on the immediate horizon is an event. Oh shit, we just had a crossover. Cool, let's do another one. Like, don't you guys think that that's the worst thing that they could announce? Like,
I mean, we're gonna talk about it on Saturday probably, but that whole retcon stuff they're doing, giant size.
well, I'll save my thoughts about that. But like, we're already sort of not happy with this era. Then we get an event that sucked. Now we're getting another one, and it's like, who cares?
And aren't they focused on roughly the same thing? Professor X?
You're talking
Well,
about a different crossover.
No, the first one was the one where they
raid,
went
Gray
to
Malkin.
the mansion,
Yeah.
and we thought we were going to learn
yep.
who the professor or who was Mutant X or whatever the fuck, and Professor X's ghost was looming over that, and he was even in that as a ghost, and then in this one he'll have gotten out of the prison, I guess, and is on the run. So yes, Cale.
Right.
Leave him behind. Let's move on from him.
Let's move on from the X-Men. Let's get into the DC block, as it were. So all DC heads, rise up. This is your moment. I know you've been waiting for us to talk about The New Gods, number 3, written by Ram V, the belle of the ball right now, with art by Evan Cagle and guest artist this month, Riccardo Federici.
I was excited to
Who
see that.
I would argue was the star of the show this month,
Yeah.
as we had sort of a flashback. He handled the flashback pieces, and then you had Evan Cagle doing the main stuff, and we sort of get like a story that the chronicler tells about the second world. Mad shit happened. The second world, these 3 gods, and one of them kills another one, and then the other one kind of splits himself, and that all that shit was amazing. And then you had the stuff on Earth with what we've been seeing with Mr. Miracle and Barda on their mission. This is probably a unanimous pick of the week. It's certainly mine, and this is the kind of shit that I'm desperate for in big 2 mainline comics. I don't care that we barely had any like progression in the main A story, because everything, every page, every line of dialogue, every panel, everything felt extremely important. It felt monumental. It had an epic feel, which you're going to get from Federici. And Ram V's script in this was stellar. This was an A+ comic book.
This is new, like ancient mythology being written. Like if the Kirby stuff was like, oh, we've discovered the new gods, cool. This is Rom V going, oh, hold my beer. there's mythology to the mythology.
And not only that, it tied into Ulgrin, which is
Did it?
PKG. Yeah, they mentioned Ulgrin a couple times, I feel.
I think they were saying Ogrim,
Oh, is
not
it
Olgrim.
too close, too similar? Don't like that. But I did like the whole. This felt like the ancient text. I was reading the Jedi's ancient text a bit.
Yeah.
It almost didn't feel like I was reading a DC book. It
No,
felt
you're right, Tyler. By the way, they did mention
Oh,
Ogrim.
they did. Okay,
I
cool.
thought they
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
and I was like, oh, sick. All right, we're tying into actual old gods, which makes sense because it's the fourth world. Whatever happened to 1, 2, and 3? And I like how that's answering this question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they are not Lovecraftian, but like when we think of old gods, this is kind of what it feels like. Like even visually, the Federici is drawing some really sick shit.
I would love to know what his concept art and like what his like inspirations were
Sure.
for the look of these characters, because they're insane.
They're very organic, where
Yeah.
New Gods aren't. They're tech. They're high sci-fi. These guys are wood and branches and tentacles and flesh and like elements. And I like how it's a de-evolution and going in reverse as we're telling the story. Yeah, I thought it was a really good issue. Not my pick of the week. Cale, as you have been doing your archaeology into Jack Kirby's The Fourth World and New Gods and all that, this is your first time talking about this book. Have the floor.
So I we noted that but between us a few days ago, and so I only just barely had the time to read Kirby's New Gods #1 and Ron V's New Gods #1 again. And what I can say confidently is they are actually very similar. They open very similarly. Kirby's opens with a massive splash of the ancient worlds and the mythology, and that's first page. And then Orion gets called to New Genesis because Darkseid's doing a thing, and Highfather knows about it, and the Source Wall is making a prophecy. And there's war. And it what I think is really interesting is Rom, and I'm trekking through some of these thoughts right now. Rom, it feels like is like we've said, establishing a deeper mythology. But what I also think is interesting is he's using it through the child that is born in the first issue, that Mr. Miracle has to hide and that Orion has to hunt. Whereas Kirby is all about rescuing humanity from Darkseid. And in both, it's the actions of Darkseid that have set this off. It's Darkseid being on Earth in the Kirby stuff, and there's gonna be war. And in this, it's Darkseid's dead, and he's off, and he's doing something, but his absence now has started a war. And I think that rules. It feels like Rom is playing with the Kirby stuff, not in the same way, and it's so interesting to see it. I was reading this one hoping it would parallel the third New Gods issue where the Black Racer gets introduced, and that doesn't happen. But what we do get is this killer mythology, which I think is the invention of the mother box. I think that's what we see here. And I think there's a father box. Am I crazy?
I believe there is. Yeah. But this is the second world we get into this, right?
It's the
Yeah,
end
I
of
think
the third world.
I thought I read second.
it said
This.
so. The
Peeking.
chronicler says, "So I may tell you of how this all began. The second world was at an end,
Okay.
and then
So,
he
okay.
goes on to talk about how it ended and why."
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're in the third world and what this flashback is because it's the end of the second.
Yes.
And I thought that the child, the creation of the child is sort of like a secret weapon of some sort, and that is the same kid that we've been seeing, or at least I assume it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's sick. Like this was a stealth origin of that kid, and I didn't know that until we got to that reveal. And so I was already loving it all, but part of me was like, all right, but like how is this gonna fit into what we've been seeing? And then boom, Rom dropped that on us. So everything landed, and like talk about inspired. Ricardo Federici did I believe, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, did The Last God with PKJ.
You're correct.
Thank you. And that was crazy, crazy, crazy. The same type of shit as this. And so he's the guy to get for this kind of storytelling. And I wouldn't be mad if the whole book was this.
Well, it's even smart from like just a production standpoint for the book because I can't imagine Evan Cagle's work is quick. A, he's relatively new, and B, that shit is super detailed. So having Federici do special guests, and some special guests previous to this, the first two issues were like 1 or 3 pages. Federici did the majority of this book. And I think that also gives Cagle room to keep the book on time, which I think it works. We complain about it, in other books, but this one at least has a thematic and storyline reason to it.
Yeah.
And they keep nailing it. Because,
Yeah.
Yep.
like, the artist feels appropriate. Like, they chose him for this for a reason. And I can always accept that. I'm never going to complain about a guest artist brought on for a good reason. This was one of the best guest artist spots ever that I can think of, at least in the last few years.
Wild to think that the crazy cosmic thing that Scott Snyder invented was a guy with a briefcase. And fucking hell, he's back.
Hell yeah. Dude, like the visuals in this are absolutely insane. And like both artists, not just Federici. I love how like it's not like, okay, Federici did these the first half and then Evan did this the second half. I like that it's like
Interspersed.
interspersed.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I thought that was a really effective way to tell the story this time around. Um, and man, when you get to that last or at least when I got to the last page, and all it is Barta just fucking bulldozing that truck.
Yep.
And Mr. Miracle being like, "Oh, you guys are fucked." That was cool.
In my head, I was like an anamorph of that truck. Like I wanted to be that truck.
You want to know how much I love this book? Genuinely. I got to that page and I saw her crush that truck, and I said, I think I'm going to make it my life's mission to collect all of the New Gods, including this.
That's a doable mission at least.
I don't know, man.
Like individual issues, you mean, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay. Have fun with that. Yeah.
yeah.
That would be cool.
You got to get like
No, this. Go ahead.
Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen number 38. Is that the Darkseid first appearance? Did you know Darkseid
so.
first appeared in a Jimmy Olsen comic, Sean?
Yes.
Okay, I just learned that the other day. I kind of blew my mind.
What do you mean the other day?
When I was getting slides ready.
Like 2 years.
Um, Banksy Main says, "I bet y'all can't name any of those three gods or the new worlds and stuff that was introduced in this issue off the top of your heads." You're right. Or I think one of them was like Panzorima, or some shit like that. You're right. And like all the crazy names and concepts and things that are thrown out, it's stuff to get used to or stuff that won't matter. I think Rom is having fun. It adds to the flavor of the book. Sometimes that can get overwhelming to me, and so I just try to focus on like, all right, they're three gods. They're this powerful. They do this stuff, and if they become relevant enough that I need to know their names going forward, I'm sure Rom will condition me to know their names.
And I think it's a testament to the art too, where even without knowing their names, they're distinct.
I also think the book came out yesterday. Come on. Fuck off with that. Like,
I think Banksy was having fun, but you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. I think again, it just adds to that like mythology. I think Cale said mythology earlier. Yeah, totally. Like these larger than life gods with these almost unpronounceable names and these factions and planets and oh my, come on, dude. Come on. If you're not loving this book, man, what are you on? What's better than this? Well, you know, that can be debated, but I love this book.
as far as I'm concerned, nothing.
Hey, Gavin. Gavin's in the chat. Nice to see you.
What's up, Gavin?
It's an easy pull for me, and not my pick of the week. One other book did squeak out, but I really, really enjoyed this.
Pick of the week, and barring something crazy, this might even end up being my pick of the month. This was nuts.
I think it is my pick of the month.
Yeah, this was ridiculous. Let's end the poll and see where you guys are at with the new gods. Poll is 46%. Pick of the week is 26%.
Wow.
Didn't buy or read is 24%, and pass is only 2%. That passes the smell test.
For a new gods book, a book they refused to publish for 20 years.
Well,
Impressive.
I can see why.
Like, you got to have the
great
right
as this
team on it. Yeah.
I think it takes a very particular sort of team to pull this off. And I could name writers I think could do this, but not a lot. And I don't know how many of them have been at DC in the last 20 years.
I also think there has been room, to be honest, to do them right and well.
And you know who I'm going to give credit to right now? Somebody that on this show gets very little credit. And that's Tom King. Because as much as I understand that Mr. Miracle isn't exactly the greatest representation of the new gods, I can speak for myself and tell you that that is the only new gods I had read prior to this. And I think that's the case for a lot of modern readers.
He did put Mr. Miracle and Big Barda back on the map.
He opened the door.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't like it, but I think it's the truth.
So thank you, Tom King. And thank you to the creative team on this for making it a great book. Let's see. What are you guys saying in the comments? Rami Darwish says this was one of the most cinematic comics I've ever read, and I agree with that. I do. Zaid Comics says, is this better than Tom King's Mr. Miracle, though? To be fair, Mr. Miracle, 12 issues and done. This is on issue 3. So, I don't know.
Different beasts, at least so far. Maybe ask that question when we're 12 issues into New Gods. But I don't it's too soon to say it for me.
I can safely say yes. But what, again, what Mr. Miracle was doing at the time it was doing it was also fairly new and unique, and with a character that was pulled out of nowhere. Even Tom King had only done 2 or 3 books before then, and his name was only just coming up after the Visions. So at the time I think it was I think it was the book. But for me, this is leagues better.
I'll let Atomic Hound have the last word, because Atomic Hound says that this is a worthy heir to Jack's fourth world. You got to check this out if you haven't. I can't think of a bigger ringing endorsement. Hound was there for the fourth world stuff. He's here for this now. He says this is a great follow up. So there you go. All right. Let's talk about the listener pick poll winner this week. To the surprise of absolutely no one, we are talking Zatanna, #1, the big winner in the poll this week, or last week, I should say. This week, however, we do have another poll up. They go up every single Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And on the poll this week, hopefully we have more of a battle. But we've got Metamorpho #3, which is at 13% as I speak. The Seasons #2, 20%. Red Hulk #1 at 26%. That was actually winning the poll before we went live, but now the tables have turned and Green Lantern #20 is winning in a landslide with 42%. We're going to leave it like that. Just let Green Lantern sweep it up. Make sure you cast your vote and help determine what will win this week. Let's talk about Zatanna, and let me show this cover again because goddamn. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's
This
the
is
artist on
Jamal Campbell.
Yeah.
Jamal Campbell on the writing and the art, with letters by Ariana Mayer. So a relatively small creative team. You don't need a lot when you have Jamal Campbell. He's a one-man army. This book tells the story of, it delves into Zatanna's origin a little bit. You get the sort of basics of her family. You know, her father was a magic guy too, and so was she. And you also get the origin of the Lady White, as there is a mystery afoot that involves magic and involves a conspiracy potentially on the part of the Lady White. Tyler, this is your pick of the week. Speak on it.
Whoa, we still have another book after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Zatanna #1. That was my pick of the week. I
Theater ass kid.
This, I always say that #1s have a higher likelihood in my head to be pick of the week because they're unknown quantities most of the time. And I think Jamal Campbell doing double duty was also an unknown quantity for me. I haven't read a lot of Jamal Campbell's written stuff. And this did the job of a #1 for me, and it hooked me. I cannot say enough good things about Jamal Campbell's art. I don't think there's anything on the stands like it. Some of the pages here, there's one that's been in the previews for DC Comics and like the backup previews for books for the past month, but there's a double page spread where he's giving you pretty much the history of Zatanna in 2 pages. Going from like her mother dying, her father dying, and by being in flames, her joining the Justice League Dark, all that stuff. And I thought it was just awesome work. And I like how this book set the status quo for what this book's going to be. She's just running a freaking magic variety show, but nothing is what it seems, and hijinks ensue. And I think there's also a great job of subtly introducing a lot of the side characters that we'll see throughout the book. And also introducing the potential big bad for this. I thought this did the job of a #1 very, very well. And I enjoyed it a lot. I love Zatanna as a character. So having her get a solo book is exciting.
I think let me preface this by saying I did enjoy this, but for me, I disagree that it does what a #1 should do, or at least a good one. For me, this was a bunch of things happen, and then she's dying at the end, or whatever. Like for me, like there was a trend in comics for a while that was a bunch of things happen, and then whoa, the cliffhanger, and you'll find out the rest in issue 2. And I just like, for me, that doesn't do enough to tell me what the book is about. And I found myself really frustrated with this book because it, like, I could feel it doing that. You know, the Lady White seems like a really interesting character, or antagonist, but what is she? Where is she coming from? What is she? You know, and I know all that's gonna get explored, but how does it relate to, you know, the fairy tale or whatever that we were told in the beginning? It's there's not enough information here, and it's all action, tremendously well done action, you know, and there's some stuff in here that he pulls off that looks incredible, but it's not enough to uh keep me going necessarily.
For me, this was a tale of two things. On the one hand, it's Jamal Campbell. The art is absolutely stellar, and there are some ridiculous pages. The one that shows Zatanna's origin is really sick. There's just a lot of cool visuals, and you expect that with Jamal Campbell. You expect it for a Zatanna book, and it delivers. You're not going to be disappointed, I don't think, from a visual standpoint with this comic. But then the other side was the script, which is also Jamal Campbell, and that was the part that I couldn't get with. I just I just didn't really care. You know, stuff happens, and I'm about over stuff happening books. Like, I really need more substance than that. And it's not that the stuff that happens is bad. The stuff that happens is fine. But there are a lot of comics that come out every week. And I'm more inclined towards a script that I like. And so Jamal Campbell's art being phenomenal isn't enough for me to overlook the fact that I don't know her better now than I did before I picked this issue up. And I don't feel like this book is intent on diving into her character in a way that's going to let me know her on a deeper level than I do already. On top of the fact that Zatanna bringing down the house just ended a few months ago, and I felt like that was a good exploration of the character. And I might sound like a hypocrite because I'll buy a limited series for Batman, but like, I could have used a breather before the next Zatanna mini. Like, it just happened. I know they want to build her up. I know they have plans for her, and I'm all in on that. I think that's great, but this didn't do enough for me, and it's not far enough away from what I just received for me to be clamoring for more.
Counterpoint. Master Hand shows up in this from Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Sick.
No, I think that's I think what you said is perfectly fine and understandable. For me, because it does seem like for all of us, it's a bit of a scale, and it's evening out for some and not evening out for others. I think for me, I thought the story was compelling enough. But yeah, I mean, it really is a story of the fucking art. The art is insane. There's a sequence in the middle where Zatanna is going through a whole bunch of old movie posters.
Yeah.
That you would see at like a boardwalk. And it is just awesome when she goes through those in quick little panels and stuff. I thought that was great.
Dude, the constant backwards talk. Oh my God. I wanted to fucking rip my fucking eyes out. Yeah, it was just nonstop. Like, I appreciate it peppered in, but when I have to read every panel backwards, it's like, yo, come on, man.
Because you're compelled to figure it out.
Yeah.
I found myself by the end like being able to read it just as fast, and I was like, whoa, okay, they really got me used to that.
I'm glad that you have a superior mind. But for my
Oh, I don't know
mind,
about
I
that.
was just looking at those words and being like, yo, dude, come on. I don't want to decide. I don't want to stop reading to have to decipher backwards language
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. Can I say something else that bugged me?
Yeah.
The the spread that is her history, again, immaculately uh done. It's an excellent piece of art. But storytelling wise, it's out of order.
Or,
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, you get the you get her mother's death, right?
Sure.
And these are the ones I'm really looking at. Her mother's death in the far left, but
Sure.
right below it, you see her mother and what I'm assuming is the young Zatanna right under it, and then right next to that is her relationship with her dad. Around it, it just it I feel like there should be more of a
word.
storytelling progression,
Okay.
going left to right,
Yep.
and it's all jumbled and out of order. And maybe he has a reason for that. Maybe there's something I am missing here. Obviously she is asleep or meditating or whatever, but it doesn't flow so that I don't know. I guess I knew what was happening, so maybe it does, but uh it just doesn't work
Yeah.
in a way that's legible.
I read it as snapshots, so I wasn't really thinking of the continuity of it, I guess.
I don't care about the continuity, just the storytelling
Well, the
aspect
continuity
of those
of the
pages.
pages, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You would think that an artist would be extremely cognizant of the correct sequential order of events on a page.
That's it.
And so I agree with that. I don't know. I think a lot of people will like this a lot more than I did, for sure. Because the Jamal Campbell art is not to be denied. And Zatanna's a character that's hot right now. But the problems that I had with this book, I don't think are going to go away, and so I'm definitely going to pass. But respect to Jamal Campbell for getting the shot, and I'm glad that people will like this. But this was not for me.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying it it's not for me. I think it is still a pull, but it's not the type of number one I want to read, and that's my massive complaint about it.
Poll pick of the week for me. Called it. Said it earlier. Sunny Waffles in chat says, "I bet Tyler won't pull issue 2, though." I don't know what makes you think I wouldn't.
Wow.
Um, I will be picking up issue 2.
Commenters are fighty today.
Dude, Sonny Walker, Sonny Waffle rather, did a fucking whole video.
Ooh,
First of all, he called me a racist.
did you do something
Second of
racist?
all, he said I was racist for the Captain America review that we did. And second of all,
You
he
liked it.
said he did. I know he did a whole video review about us, which it happens. I'm not mad at that. That's fine. But like, I don't get these takes, man. Why would Tyler not buy the second one? That doesn't even make any sense. And how am I racist? What are you like? Are you on planet Earth?
Unless he's reading it backwards because it's Zatanna themed. But that's more of a Bizarro thing. So I think you got your DC characters
Maybe
mixed
he's
up.
reading us backwards.
Oh, put us in a mirror then.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Some people are just cut from a different cloth, so to speak. Uncanny Suit says if any character deserves to have permanent half gloves, it's Zatanna. Gavin's in the chat, and listen, let me tell you something. Despite the fact that I didn't love this issue, Gavin Guidry drawing Zatanna with half gloves, That could be the greatest thing of all time. Short of Rogue, Zatanna with the half gloves could be the greatest thing of all time.
Wouldn't work.
Why?
Because you don't want them looking at your hands when you're a magician.
Ooh.
Valid.
Well, wait.
That's why the fishnets are there. You're looking there. Sleight of hand.
That's a great point. Yeah, it's a great point.
To be fair, there are a lot of places to look when we're talking about Zatanna.
Sure. But you do not want to look at the hands as a magician.
Gavin asks, how would you feel if she was a redhead? I would love that. Actually, no, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't like that. No, I wouldn't.
The joke on here is the redhead thing, but I actually think I like women with black hair more in real life.
There's a looks like a snow bunny on the cover though that I have on here. Looks like she pulled a snow.
Excuse me?
It's a white bunny she pulled out of the hat.
What other kind of bunny is she gonna pull out of a hat?
Well, there's brown, there's black, there's
Nobody does that. Nobody's pulling out a brown bunny from a hat.
I don't even know where you're going with that.
You don't need to.
Oh my goodness. Gavin says he's hate watching. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I there are some people that watch this channel that I can't call it. Like, why do like there's just a certain personality to where I'm like, dude, don't you know this channel's not for you? Like, I welcome everybody, but if you're, come on, if you're gonna sit there and say I'm racist, why are you watching? I don't know.
Listen, we're celebrities, People say all kinds of stuff about us.
I love it. I love it.
I think we should just maybe stop saying racist stuff on the show. I think that's a thing we should just do.
I'll do my best.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
I'll do my best.
I wasn't going to acknowledge that.
Mike Hank says, you heard it here first. Magicians are racist against bunnies. Look, I'm racist against bunnies. If I was going to... Oh, shit.
Careful.
I'm racist.
Careful.
If I were going to have a bunny, I guarantee you would be white. I guarantee it.
I don't know about this. Young Dende says, #Snow Bunnies never.
Snow bunnies forever. I would get...
Where's my button?
Man, listen, bro. Let's not even start.
What are we talking about?
Cale is so lost right now.
I wouldn't even get a... No, I would never get a brown bunny. Of course not.
Wow. Oh, okay, hold on.
What the fuck am I going to do with a brown bunny?
Waffles might be right here if we're still talking euphemisms. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. CW Gordon says, no red bands, no racism, Sean's 2025 challenge. I'm working hard, guys. I'm working hard. The red bands I got covered, bro. You haven't seen me pull one red band except Wolverine Revenge. But the racism, I got to work on.
We're learning, we're growing, we're learning. Appreciate it.
Indeed. The poll results for Zatanna were poll 51%, didn't buy or read 24%, pick of the week 16%, and pass 8%. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. What's not good are the likes numbers. Let's get those likes up. If you're watching this right now and you're enjoying what we're doing, smash that like button.
And hey, you know what? If you're not enjoying what we're doing, smash it anyway.
Why not?
And put some oomph into it. Get some frustrations out.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Sunny Waffle says, I said it sounded kind of racist, but yeah, I shouldn't have used those words, lol. Well, dude, I agree with you, man. And I know you're a listener, so it's all good. But just, this is a lesson to everybody. When you jump in the comment section of a YouTube channel or a fucking Twitter or Instagram, think about what you say to people. Think about what you say. You shouldn't say anything you think, and you should think through the things you want to say. I'll tell you one thing about me. Say whatever you want about me. I will never be caught slipping in somebody's fucking DMs, their comment section, none of that. Don't go to people's comment section to say negative shit. There's no need.
Oh, I'm always in the DMs. Not working out for me, but...
Yeah, but you a nasty freak.
Uncanny Suit said, are we cool with bad bunnies? Hell yeah, bro.
No.
Oh.
Black queens
don't you
forever,
remember?
snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
What are we talking about?
Google is free, my brother. Google is
Cale,
free.
I grew up in the mountains. I grew up next to the mountains. A snow bunny is something completely different to me.
Not to me.
Are we talking about the same thing?
We're not.
No.
We are on completely
Okay,
different
all
worlds
right.
right now. Yeah.
Chop Harder Alchemist says, "This is why I'm here. Once we get over an hour in, things get real." Hell yeah, dude. I love the energy of Pals Pulls. It's my favorite show to do. You know why? Because we get to talk about comics and then talk shit. Around 7:30, we just start talking shit. I love it. Uncanny Suit. Sean will release a pod on Patreon discussing his thoughts on the Snow Bunny community if this episode gets 100 likes. No, I will do that if let's see what will cause me to do that. I will do that if I'll do it if between now and the end of this episode we receive $50 in super chats. I will
Jesus
do it.
Christ.
And I don't know that that's going to happen. So that's the challenge. If you guys want to see that happen, that's what you got to do. Otherwise, I'll never do it.
I don't
All
want to
right,
see
so-
the Snow Bunny thesis.
So,
Why not?
Okay. TikTok says
Oh no, that's not never a great way to
used
start.
Well, listen, where else am I going to learn? It says traditionally, a snow bunny is a novice skier or snowboarder who is a particularly attractive
No, that's
female.
what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
That's what I know. However, recently it describes an attractive white woman or a sexually promiscuous white woman. Okay. All right. Now I'm caught up.
Oh look, I think Cale's got a little melanin now. You muted yourself in laughter, I think. Sean.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Future guest of the show, BJ Kicks, is in the chat, and he said, "I turned on the stream late, and Dr. Umar has joined the cast. What in the world is going on,
You have to
bro?
Google something else now.
Don't even go back. All right, don't re-listen to this
You're
because I
covering for
really
yourself
want
now.
you on the show this Saturday. So don't listen, and we're gonna change the subject because I don't want to. I don't want you to think differently about us.
Us.
Yes.
We got looked
Hey,
in.
you guys are going deep. Young Dende, you got to stop it, bro. And Banksy, man, you guys are going too deep. This podcast cannot go that deep. And stop saying things like that in front of Atomic Hound. All right, show some respect.
Banksy Bane.
You guys are trying to get us in trouble.
Jesus Christ.
On my account said Urban Dictionary's on the pull list next week. Now you should know what that is. Even I know what that is.
Oh my goodness. See, comics are dope. Says pause.
Whoa.
Catherine, she got us halfway there. Oh my God, Catherine got us halfway there with the
Shit
25
stir.
spot. Says Sean said snow bunnies forever. Listen, I sure did. And if you want to know why, we're going to need another 25. And I will get that post up on patreon.com/thecomicspals tomorrow.
She had to go check in with her bank. Can I afford this? I'm gonna write this check.
She went to her husband and said, "Listen,
fuck with Sean
Mr.
right now."
Stars, I really need to spend $25 on the pals because Sean's going to do a snow bunny pod. And I cannot explain to you what that is, but I need to hear it." Oh my God. Steve Canara says, "Isn't Pog a bottle cap?" Well, I grew up on the internet where Pog meant, like poggers. Like, that's really great.
I don't mind slamming some pogs myself. You know what I mean?
Woof.
I'm gonna have to look something else up.
Meyer
Pogs are the cardboard coins. Oh, $10 more. That's 35.
Jesus,
Uncanny Suit with the
no.
$9.99 says for the culture.
You're just getting Waffles is going to be right by the end of this.
What are we doing? Oh my God, this show.
You know what? If we get to 50, I think you have to say it on air.
I'll say anything you want on air if we get to 50. Meyer
$50 more dollars.
Cheap date.
You right. You are absolutely. You could get me. You could open me up with a pretzel. You could open me up with a pretzel and some popcorn.
Oh shit.
Samuel Summers got us over $20 super
We have
chat from
55.
Samuel Summers, who says do it. Rami Darwish with
Oh.
$9.99 that says I second that.
Should we finish
So
the
we
books
eclipsed-
first?
What?
Should we finish the books first?
Oh, we will finish that.
Okay.
I said I'm gonna do a podcast.
Oh God.
I'm gonna record it. They
All
hooked
right.
it up.
All right.
Hey, we're still recording
Okay, all right.
from what we did earlier. I'm just saying, like, you got to do it.
We're never gonna get the Storm Creative team to interview on the show now.
Hey, thank you guys so much. You answered the call. Gavin said, "What books?" We've already alienated Gail Simone, so we might as well leave it there.
Oh, Cale did.
Cale did, but we all get the blame. We share blame. We do have G.I. Joe left to review, but I gotta say, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the $50. I didn't actually think you would do that, and I will reward you in kind. Trust me.
How much for a Snow Bunny song?
You want me to write a song?
Oh no, I don't want that. No offense, Sean.
BJ said, Sean said they can open him up, and the money started coming in.
Turbo Tortilla says Sean's a Winter Soldier. Appropriate terminology here, I guess. Yeah.
A Winter Soldier.
Yeah. I do not say his trigger phrase.
Yo.
That's for sure.
Turbo, that's one of the funniest
Oh my
fucking things
God.
anyone has ever said to me, dude. Between you and BJ, you guys are coming from my neck right now. That is fucking hilarious. Holy shit. My man called me a Winter Soldier. That is, if you know, you know. That is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And I'm changing all my socials right now. Oh my God, dude.
What activates your Winter Soldier? Is it like Lisa Ann, Sarah J?
No.
Tyler, you gotta
It's-
stop, bro.
Haley, but there are 40 different vowels and consonants.
Yo, I'm gonna really think about
you
that.
can't do this for a couple days later. We're still in February. Like, Ultimate
my
Power
God,
1 is
dude,
right.
That's the
Come on,
perfect
son.
time. It's snowing outside right now, bro. I'm about to step out. Oh my God, about to find my white queen. Oh my God.
That book comes out in June. You got a little while for that.
That's true. That's true. Oh my God, dude. Wow, you guys are killing me right now. Comics Are Dope said, I just want to be very clear. I don't want Sean's neck. You're coming
Golly.
for it.
Gotta leave it for the Snow Bunnies.
Yeah, man. Oh, woof. Unbelievable. All right. We've got one more book on the docket somehow. G.I. Joe, #4. I don't even know how to do this review. G.I. Joe, Tom Riley, Joshua Williamson, Jordy Belair, Russ Wooten, and the Crimson Twins have made their presence known. They attack Team Joe, and we get that stuff. Meanwhile, I feel like we spent a lot of time with Cobra in this one, which I was appreciative of. Just getting to see them do their thing, and I feel like they added a couple Cobra guys, maybe
Yeah.
one.
One new edition, yeah.
Yeah. I had fun with this. Tyler, what'd you make of this?
I had fun with this. Cale, how'd you? I thought. I mean, this continues to be like we talked about it on Pal's previews. How like G.I. Joe at any given week could be a pick of the week. It's just a damn solid good book every time it comes out, and this issue just solidified that. Yeah, I think the bits here. There's just an extended car chase sequence, and then the freaking Tomar and Tomax shooting rockets in the middle of like DC. Like, I mean, that's probably current day, give or take a couple months. But like, I thought that was sick. I thought when Ripper showed up, and Ripper, I think, is one of those like guys that was in the Cobra book. Remember those like Bayou guys that were torturing Cobra? So I think he might have recruited some of them, which is sick, awesome, cool. This is action figures the book in the best way possible, and that's exactly what it should be.
Yeah, I don't have any holy cow.
Near, we're trying to talk about the comics right now, not Sean's proclivities.
You gotta
I thank you. Thank
You
you.
gotta fucking write a song now.
Oh my god, dude. I'll do it. I'll do
It's
it.
got to
We
be a
can do-
ranking, Sean. Sean, it's got to be a ranking.
That's $100 they've given us.
It's gotta be a
have
tier
to write
maker.
a song now.
Oh my god, he dropped 50. I didn't even realize that. Near. Yo, you dropped a bomb on us. Near, thank you so much, dude. So first of all, this is Near's first super chat and on a stream. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Near says, this is from Mrs. Near herself. You know what to do, Sean. Listen, far be it from me to disappoint Mrs. Near. I am going to deliver. Trust and believe that. I'm going to give you my Snow
right.
Bunny dissertation.
Jesus Christ.
I got you. Thanks, Near. And really, thanks, Mrs. Near.
Just make sure that we don't get into like weird eugenics when we talk about that. And
Eugenics?
right, you know, we don't need to get into
How about Nugenics? You ever see that commercial? And she'll like it too. You never seen that commercial? Where they're trying to sell those pills?
yeah. I don't think it's that. Is it pronounced Nugenics?
Yes, that
That's the play
medication
on
is
words?
called Nugenics.
Isn't that just
And
a boner pill?
It's not just a boner pill. It's got a few effects, but they always make sure to throw that in there. And she'll like it too.
Few effects. What? It gives you like vibration, like.
And if you really pay attention to that commercial, you're going to notice this is something that I have noticed over years. There's always a racial element to those commercials.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there is.
I know. It used to be called something else.
Why does this cover have to be on when and then Banksy Man calls it up?
Perfect cover. Damn. Banksy made Snow Bunny saluting you all on this cover. C.W. Gordon, the answer to that is no. They really shouldn't have, but you know. He asks, is eugenics really a pun you want to play around with? No, they shouldn't have, but they did, and she'll like it too. Sorry about that. Cale, I think you were speaking on G.I. Joe.
I I had a good time. The only thing I have to say is this this guy with the pink glasses is Macho Man Randy Savage, and that's how I read his voice the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Is that
that's the
Ripper?
one. I don't know. And then the Crimson Twins were the Vine guys.
The G.I. Joe.
What is
the
Da
Vinci boys, yeah.
Da Vinci?
Yeah.
That's how I read them. So I had a great time.
I don't think I'm going to not read them that way anymore.
Yeah.
Right, I have to say words. Yeah, I mean, this issue was pretty strong. I'm coming back to the same problem that I had with 3 though, which is that I'm not caring. Like the content is good, the work is good. Tom Riley never misses, and I think Joshua Williamson's script in this is good. I'm just not caring. And I think that's me telling myself my time with this book is not long. Cause like I really like the like conspiracy angle of Duke, and that carried over in the first couple issues of this, but like it's more about the action than anything else, and it's a G.I. Joe book, so that's fair. That's not a complaint. It's more just that that's not what I want from this. Yeah, go ahead.
We with G.I. Joe, I think we were really waiting for, the big Justice League style Transformers, Energon, G.I. Joe crossover. And that's not to say it won't come, but I think that G.I. Joe itself has stuff it has to set up. And the fact that it's not done already puts a slow burn on it that kind of hurts it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we are spending time learning about I feel like we're learning more about the Cobra guys than anything, which is good. We need to. Um but I'm more interested in how GI Joe plays into the rest of everything. Like I would personally never buy a GI Joe book outside of this creative team and the Energon universe of it all. Um, but like unless it's all gonna come together, I could do without the toy smashing thing. Like I'm good on that. I don't know.
CW Gordon asks, isn't that the same sentiment y'all had toward Transformers? Is this universe slipping already? Yeah, a little.
I think Cale and I, well, I shouldn't say that. I'll speak for myself. I didn't come into this with like a deep love for GI Joe, and I didn't come into this with a deep love necessarily for Transformers. Like I like the first movie. And as a kid, these just weren't my thing. So reading comics that are like the show doesn't do anything for me. I wanted something transformative. This isn't that. This is like really good comics for people that like what G.I. Joe already is, and it's nothing different than that. And that's okay. I'm just not the target.
And for me, that still tracks with Transformers, but that's a plus for me. So that's probably why I'm liking GI Joe.
Yeah, like there's not even anything like that big to talk about here. We did have the blue guy who had blue skin, which was weird, and we don't know exactly where that's
That's
gonna go.
that's the Cobra La
Okay,
assassin from the previous issue. Yeah,
right, right. And so that's cool. Like they, Cobra Law is a factor. I have no basis for Cobra Law outside of the previous Cobra Commander miniseries. Um, yeah, like I don't have any deep criticisms about it. I just literally don't think this book is for me anymore.
that's fair. I think it's totally fair.
Yeah, I feel the same.
I'm not gonna pass because it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with this comic by any means. So I will say pull. And I'm not stopping, but I think
Yeah.
after the first arc, I am gonna have to reevaluate my position with this book.
That's what I was gonna say. Unless they do something that like hooks me into the broader universe, I might go check out Void Rivals and see what's going on there. Uh, but Transformers is kind of let me down, and GI Joe feels like it's slipping a bit. I could check out.
I think Void Rivals is the best one.
Okay.
That's the one I look forward to the most when it comes out, and I never come away from it feeling disappointed.
I feel like it was the one I was the most excited about when it came out. When that issue dropped, I was really excited about it.
And it has remained consistently strong. Like, did you read The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
So I didn't finish it, but I read probably half. And one of the things is about The Walking Dead, reading it after like a lot of it had already come out, I had these deluxe editions, and it's like addicting to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Void Rivals feels like that. Like Robert
Mm.
Kirkman is just really good at that, and Void Rivals has that quality.
Mm.
And it ties into all of this. So you get Transformers stuff, but you also get Void Rival stuff. I don't know. I really enjoy that more than this, but um, let's see what you guys have to say. Let's end the poll. Gavin, yeah. Gavin says it's the only one that's an original concept. Exactly.
That's that's probably why we like it, or why you like it more. You don't have to speak for you, but like it's a better anchor into a universe that's already established, because new stuff is happening, and it's an easier reach into those things.
And there's freedom. There's a
Yeah.
creative freedom to do things there that just isn't there with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Presumably. 65% didn't buy or read. Pull is 26%, pass is 7%, and nobody chose G.I. Joe #4 as their pick of the week. So, not really a surprise, to be honest. I would say this is probably my least favorite issue of the book. And this was a stacked week, so stiff
Also,
competition.
a middle of the arc issue, you know, like
Yeah. A little bit of a dive back into our previous debauchery. Uncaged says, "This is our best work. I always appreciate a pal's comment section, but tonight I put my head on the pillow knowing we have reached new heights." And I agree with that. This is my favorite comment section ever, maybe.
Uncanny Suit said, clearly Marco was the glue holding this show together. To which I responded, have you ever watched this show? To which C.W. Gordon said, that's what I thought about Cale when the P talk lasted a half an hour without him here. This crew has no glue. Hey, what happened there?
The P talk?
Dude,
I don't remember, honestly.
you don't even want an explanation.
I watched
That's
that. I
one of
watched
those-
that away. Yeah.
Ew.
Oh.
Uncanny Suit said Cale brings chaos wherever he goes on the internet. This can no longer be denied. And I think not that I think I'm some kind of chaos agent, but I think people act out around me and they want me to respond. And I don't totally understand why. I think it's because I am perceived as a good Christian boy, and I don't think that's fair.
You give straight man energy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that feel in 2025? Since you're
Again, unfair.
public enemy number one.
Yeah.
White?
Well,
Straight?
the thing,
Bit of a ginger?
the thing here is like I'm the DEI hire, so I sort
You
of
are, yeah.
yeah, like that. I feel safe.
True,
you know,
true.
but
Okay.
like
we got to hit those checks. Yeah, I got you.
yeah,
Important in the comics fandom too to have a white dude. So
yeah,
we're glad you're here.
white dude, beard and glasses.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Dude,
The
you
Mary
want to talk
Sue.
about you want to talk about unglued and unhinged. I want to see what this place is going to look like when I'm not around. You guys are going to be some fucking wild animals.
I got plans.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Strauss is not going to tune in for that one.
You guys know
Out.
how we like to go ahead.
Out said based on the previous discussion, my guess for the stack is 34C.
No comment.
It's
No
good.
comment.
That was a good one.
So how should I do this? So like you guys doubled the goal of $50.
You need to gather your thoughts for this at least.
So okay, so how should I do it? Like should I do it live? Should I record
I don't
it?
know.
Like I said,
I think you should do it live.
You didn't even know what he was talking about until 5 minutes ago.
I still don't know what he's talking about. That's why I want him to do it live.
all right, what I'm going to do is because I don't want to offend any ears, I'm going to post it on Patreon for free so that anybody who wants to can tune into my thoughts. And what am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to talk about it's a Snow Bunny deep dive. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you, CW Gordon. That's
Over
I'm going
a
to post
series of weeks.
1 week.
You not want to know what
What?
audience we're going to get now.
1 week, one episode. I'm going to do it on Patreon for free. And it's going to be my Snow Bunny deep dive. That's what I'm going to do.
Each week, if you drop a 50,
Kale, wait.
he'll do another episode.
Kale, can we do a check-in with Kale real quick? So you know how like there's like reviews, podcast reviews of podcasts? Like there's a podcast called Talking Talk Tua. It's a
Yeah, of
podcast
course.
that does a discussion on the Talking Tua podcast. I think they do
Ugh.
MD Foodie Boys now.
Disgusting.
What do you think this is about, Kale?
The Snow Bunny thing?
Yeah.
Listen, what connection? Like, I can't imagine like where Sean's gonna go.
Mhm.
I have no basis, right?
Okay.
I only just learned about this. He ain't talking about skiing.
Maybe add a T in there somewhere.
Okay.
Oh my. This comment section is killing me, dude. Young Dende, get some notes, do it live, and let the viewers call in. The Bunny Bonanza of 2025.
I'm
will
not
be
dealing with
There it
the logistics of a call-in show.
Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are, and you're going to be doing it very soon. I guarantee it, because
And-
I've got plans.
It ain't that hard.
Young Dende said, drink some milk during the show too. Really sell the bit. Dude, you want me dead,
Ooh.
huh? I can't
Missy-
drink milk.
Mrs. Yeah, that's right. Mrs. Neer says you must be wearing bunny ears while you do it.
Hey, she calls the shots apparently because she's the one with the bread. However, getting me to wear additional articles is not that was not in the purview, so we're gonna have to do something more for that. I ain't throwing on bunny ears.
Paying
You guys
people
want
to
me
put
dress up?
yeah, paying people to put on clothes. Not what I'm used to.
Listen, that's what the Only Pals is. That's what it's for.
I've only been paid to put clothes on. Ain't nobody paying me to take my shit off. That's the only pals, and only pals ain't happening. Get the numbers in for the stack.
We'll start those counts now. So get them in now.
It's gonna turn
Yeah,
into
so-
more like one of those like streamer dating shows that people do. That
Who-
are,
We lining up the bunnies?
I mean, Jasper A said, "I will get bunnies on the phone. Somebody's on the phone if you let us go."
Yo, who you got, Jasper? What's your what's your connection?
Now,
He's got Bonnie Blue ready.
like, okay,
A little busy right now.
I know there are famous snow bunnies, as I understand the term.
Sure.
Are there specific famous snow bunnies?
No. It's a you know it when you see it sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we could. There's like a Mount Rushmore Strong could do.
Yep.
It's like Angela White. Boom.
Thank you to everybody who has stayed with us.
You got a
for
stack
this.
to do.
Top,
Yeah, we
Chop
definitely
Harder
do.
Alchemist says, when are we doing this? I'll do my best to make a Bunny Bonanza theme song if there's time.
Jesus Christ. If it sounds
Listen,
like yakety sax, I might be down actually. Sounds like the
These are
Bonanza theme.
These are the things I can tell you for sure. One day we will do a call-in show. That day is coming soon. The second thing I can tell you for sure is that tomorrow I'm going to be recording a free Patreon episode that will be my deep dive into snow bunnies. All right. That is ground that I have never treaded before. But I must tell you, I'm very excited to do it. The third thing I can tell you is that I am very, very pleased with all of you tonight. You have been an amazing audience, and we thank you.
Wild.
And we are not done with you by any means.
And I will say next week, Dr. Umar is on the show with the rebuke.
Comic Book History is the only one in the chat still trying to talk comics.
Well, okay. All right. Let's get some numbers in.
We
people
got 'em, we got 'em.
started.
Slow down.
Oh,
The
you got
numbers
them?
are rolling in. While you collect them, I'm just gonna say real quick, I don't have a big story to tell this week about my LCS, except to say that I'm gonna spoil. No, I won't even do that. I don't have a copy of New Gods #3. And you will see exactly why I don't have one once we get into the numbers. You will see. Jasper, you played me, bro. I don't like that. You lied. He said, due to me being white, I have none.
Wow.
You're gonna tell me you're supposed to have the keys. What are you talking about?
Wow.
You're supposed to have the keys. I don't like that. All right. Cale, take it away.
We have got, now I'm only starting from when we asked. So if you put one in, get it in now. I'm going to keep progressing. Hayden's Hideout started off with 17. Bandit 00, my favorite Bond, came in with 18. Mike Hank says 18. Gavin says 16. Jonathan Chow. Oh, I'm sorry, Jonathan. 16. Young Dende says 24. James Jones, perennial winner, says 21. CW Gordon says 21. Comic Book History says 24. Jasper, I don't know if we still want to count him. He says 23, but I feel like he should be punished. Young Dende says 24. Jack Cloutier, apologies, says 19. And Near, obviously, with the $4.99 says this one's from the coin purse. Get them ears.
All right. Near and Mrs. Near, I appreciate the $4.99. Here's what we're gonna do. And if on a future episode, I'm gonna set a goal. And if we hit the goal, I will appear not on some fucking. I'm not gonna do it on Patreon. I'm gonna do it right here live. I will appear with bunny ears. That will be the first time in my life that I have done anything like that live. Every year we did the fucking Hellfire Gala, I never dressed up. Every Halloween, I've never dressed up. I didn't even wear the LCS sheriff gimmick. But I will do it if we hit that goal.
Might I pause something?
Yeah.
Emma Frost ongoing's coming out soon, right? We're gonna tackle that on Palace Polls. Make us get to 5K before that comes out.
Well, when is that?
I think that's June, so hopefully we get to 5K much sooner than that. But you know, Zatanna would have been the book. Zatanna would have been the book, but you know,
I'll take the cash. Zatanna's not the book for me. Emma Frost, that's the book for me. She's the White Queen.
The White Queen.
All right. Young Dende said, of course, Sean will dress up with bunnies being involved. Shaking my head. You know it. Style So Serious says, Sean needs to go digital. Never that. Oh, nah. Uncanny Suit is listing top tier comic snow bunnies. And I may include that. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Cale. You read off the numbers. I think a couple more just came in. So if you want to hit that.
We got Rami with 17 from earlier. Catherine came in with 21, and Luna's on 20.
All right.
Wow.
So here
we go. Real quick, you're being called out. Mrs. Near says this sounds like a scam.
Scam? Whoa.
He's got to get the ears first.
I don't even have them. I don't even have the ears.
Do a filter.
Oh, if only you had a green screen.
It's just Near. That would be so monumentous for me to put some shit on my head. You've never even seen me as so much as a baseball cap, okay? For me to do that, I need motivation, bro. Tell Miss Near that.
You just got $105
to do a Snow Bunny deep dive, which I'm giving away for free. Well, I'm not really giving it away for free because we just got paid to do it. But it will be available for everybody to read.
Look, man, just do the bunny ears. It's for Mrs. Near.
Oh shit. Yeah, but she ain't Mrs. Me. She ain't Mrs. Soapbox.
No, but she Mrs. Near. And that's important.
that's true.
She's
important. Near to him, but she's far from me.
Yeah.
Aren't you compensated enough?
Wow.
Clearly not. Wait till you see my fucking stack. You think I'm compensated enough, dude? Let's get into it. Storm number 5. I had to get this variant. It's the Disney Storm and Forge variant. The shit is fire, okay? Have I read the book? No. Mystique number 5. I can't wait to dive into this finale. This series has been so good. Maybe overall the best X book. Comics Are Dope said, ew, Mrs. Soapbox. What's wrong with that? Why are you ewing that? What can I say? What can I say that won't get me called out? Yes, I do, Catherine. I mean, no, I've never. What? Never. Exceptional X-Men. Speaking of the White Queen.
Wow.
Look at this variant I got.
Of course you did.
The Snow Bunny variant.
Yo, look at her. Are you serious? Holy shit, who drew this? Lyrics. I don't even know who that is. Leirix. I don't know who that is. Hats off to them. Also, The New Gods, number 2.
Oh no.
They put this shit right next to issue 3. And I got this because I thought the cover was cool. So I thought it was a variant. I didn't look at the number. I thought it was a variant. It was sitting right next to the other variants. So I grabbed it. I got played again. Fuck!
Oh. Can I have that?
It will cost me probably 3 or 4 times the amount of $3.99 to get this to you.
We just got paid $100. Let me have it.
Catwoman, number 73. Speaking of people who might be on my Mount Rushmore of comic snow bunnies, this is the Hush Tua variant. So, very nice. Batman and Robin, year 1, number 5. Had to get that bad boy. Ultimate Black Panther, number 13. The Incredible Hulk, number 22. The Amazing Spider-Man, number 68. Miles Morales Spider-Man, number 30. Let This One Be a Devil, number 1. This was really good. This was really, really good. I see it. I'm no selling it because fuck you. James Tynion and Steve Fox wrote this one. Very, very good stuff. Pick it up. Nightwing, number 123. This was also really good. Dan Panosian on the cover. Had to get this variant. I love it, love it, love it. This was a really good issue. World Tree, number 13. Wonder Woman, number 18. Yes, the fuck I did.
Again, snow bunny allegations not helping you.
I'm not even denying the allegations. I am like accepting them. You told me Grail was going to be in this comic, and I told you I got to buy it, and I did. And guess what? I fucking hated it.
Oh, you read it?
No,
I haven't read it yet.
It was very okay. Like I shouldn't have bought it. And the Power Fantasy, number 6. This was also very good. This book remains quality stuff. So that's 19.
19 or 20?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus 5 is 20. You got me. Yep. 20. 20.
Okay, 20. I think it's Steve Canaris.
Hey.
Luna also with 20.
Steve Canaris got it first.
Yes,
well,
Sean Ali got a 20.
Well, yeah.
Damn, a few 20s. You guys have me clocked.
Luna said 20 bunnies too.
Luna said 20, yeah. 20 bunnies.
Yo, holy shit, Jasper. I just opened the first page of World Tree, and wow, there is nothing on this page that I can show you. That is something else. Wow. And it is very fitting for the stream we have been doing.
Wow.
Jasper Eddie with the $4.99 says, for my lying and lack of keys. Looking forward to the book club and loving the content as always. Jasper, it's all love, dude. Thank you so much. Your Origin's coming, by the way. I wrote it a couple weeks ago. I'm very excited to share it with you. And you're welcome. Thank you. All right. Who won again? Steve Canaris and who? Luna?
And Sean Ali.
Yep.
All right.
Sean
You guys
Ali.
are free to message me if you want any of the Marvel codes from this week. Avengers vs. X-Men is $7.99, so if you don't feel like spending that shit, hit my DMs.
Sure. Avengers vs. X-Men again?
Avengers vs. Aliens.
Both of you did that.
Pound said, hey, BJ, I need some referral for some quality headphones after this episode.
I know you don't listen to this show without headphones on because you don't want Miss Hound hearing half the stuff we say. Frankly, I don't even want you hearing half the stuff I say because I want you to respect me.
You gotta get those Ray J Raycons.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember the commercial.
The glasses, maybe not so much, but.
All right. After a crazy episode of Pals Pulls,
Wild.
arguably the most unhinged one yet, we do have to cut a rug. Stay tuned because tomorrow I will drop my Snow Bunny dissertation on Patreon for free.
Oh, and Chillmonger came in too. That's.
Oh my god! As if,
We could
as if,
if there was a bingo card, somebody would have it.
Chill. You missed a lot, bro. You missed a lot, but it's nothing you'll be happy with.
No, you won't.
It's nothing you will be happy with. So you might as well not even go back. It ain't good.
All right, so you got Sean's Snow Bunny dissertation tomorrow. You got Pals previews on Monday.
Saturday is the main show.
Saturday's the main
Can't
show.
skip that. We're going to be talking about the Comics Pro, Marvel announcements, and all the other big announcements. We've got a lot to talk about. And BJ Kicks is going to be joining us, so can't wait for that conversation. Always a fun time to have BJ join us. So tune in Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern for that, and then of course on Tuesday. So 2 for Tuesday. Here's the crazy thing. Tuesday, not only are we doing the Captain America Ed Brubaker Winter Soldier Book Club at 8 or 6 p.m. Eastern. After that, immediately after that, I am going on the Nearman Condition channel to do Old Reader, New Reader with Wonder Man. So you're going to get a double dose of me. I'm getting a double dose of podcasting, and I'm going to be double tired by the end of that. Next week is fucking crazy.
You're doing a 3 days in a row.
I'm doing 3 days in a row. Yep.
Wow.
So you guys are gonna see a whole lot of me. And all of what you will see of me will be clothed. No only
Oh,
pals
okay.
over here.
Whoa. Okay, good. Not on Near Mint.
Not in front of Maddie. Oh my god.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. My chat is acting up right now. Was there a comment we needed to get before we cut out of here?
Last question from Mike Hank. Is Pen Pals only YouTube member exclusive, or is it also available on Patreon?
So Pen Pals is exclusive to our channel membership. We want to give value to those who decide that they want to support us over there. And that is one of the ways we have decided to do it. I have not yet discovered a way to add that as value for patrons. But if I did, we would have to discuss internally how to do that. But right now, I like that we have something that is just for the channel members.
Patrons do get Palling Around, though, and there will be a new one of those next Thursday. So.
Yep, patrons get Palling Around. Patrons get, names. Patrons get it all. So channel members have to have something for themselves.
Except Pen Pals.
Yeah.
Doesn't Pen Pal? Am I wrong in saying that Pen Pals comes out for free later?
Never.
Not at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
For now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was a phenomenally fun show. We appreciate you. Hopefully, you'll bring the same energy on Saturday. Well, maybe a little different energy on Saturday while BJ with us.
BJ's got kids.
Exactly. But come hang out with us. It's going to be a great time. Until then, take care.
See.